If you have federal student loans, stop scrolling for a second, because what you're about to hear could save you from a financial disaster. Right now, millions of borrowers are on a 90-day countdown, and if they miss this deadline, they could see their credit score take a massive hit, their wages garnished, their tax refunds seized, and their loans pushed toward default. The worst part? Many people still have no idea this is happening. So before you ignore another email from your loan servicer, you need to know exactly what's going on. Picture this. You're scrolling your phone, minding your own business, and suddenly you get an email from your student loan servicer. Subject line, important changes to your repayment plan. Your stomach drops a little, right? Because we all know that important changes from a loan company never means, hey, we're just giving you free money. And this time, it's worse than you think. Because right now, millions of Americans on something called the SAVE plan just got hit with a ticking clock. 90 days. That's it. 90 days to figure out their next move, or they could slide straight into default. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what that means, why it's happening, and more importantly, what you need to do so you're not one of the millions caught off guard.
Let's back up for a second, because I promise this will make sense. A few years ago, the government rolled out this thing called the SAVE plan. SAVE stands for Saving on a Valuable Education. It was supposed to be this borrower-friendly repayment option. Lower monthly payments, interest that didn't balloon out of control. For a lot of people, it felt like finally catching a break after years of stressing about loans. But here's the thing about government programs. SAVE ran into legal challenges, got tied up in court, and now the whole plan is basically being unwound. And when a repayment plan gets unwound, guess who has to scramble? Not the politicians, not the loan servicers. You. So here's where we are right now. Loan servicers have started sending out notices telling SAVE plan borrowers they have 90 days, 3 months, to switch into a different repayment plan. If you don't, your loan doesn't just sit there quietly waiting for you to get around to it. It can move toward default. And default is not an oops, my bad situation. Default is a full-blown financial gut punch. Let me paint you a picture of what default actually looks like, because I don't think people fully grasp it until it happens to them.
Imagine your credit score is like your financial reputation. It's the thing that tells landlords, banks, and even some employers whether you're trustworthy with money. Defaulting on a student loan can knock that score down by almost 100 points. 100 points. That's not a scratch on the car, that's totaling the car. Suddenly, the apartment you wanted requires a cosigner. The car loan you were approved for now comes with a much higher interest rate. Even renting a place can get harder because landlords run credit checks too. And it gets spicier. Once you're in default, the government has ways of collecting that would make even the most aggressive debt collector blush. They can garnish your wages, meaning your paycheck literally shrinks because a chunk gets sent straight to pay off the loan before it even hits your bank account. They can seize your tax refund. That refund you were planning to use for a vacation or to finally fix your car's air conditioning before summer? Gone. Redirected. And if you get Social Security or other federal benefits, those can be touched too. Here's the wild part. A lot of the people falling into this hole aren't reckless spenders who ignored their loans for years. According to recent data, the average newly defaulted borrower is 39 years old, meaning these are people with careers, families, mortgages, real adult lives. Many of them were actually paying their loans just fine before the pandemic pause hit back in 2020. They did everything right, and now they're getting steamrolled by a bureaucratic pileup that has nothing to do with their own financial discipline. It's kind of like being a passenger on a plane that gets rerouted because of weather, except the airline blames you for missing your connecting flight. So why is this happening now, specifically? Basically, courts put limits on the SAVE plan, which means the Department of Education can't keep offering it the way it originally promised. Borrowers who were coasting along on SAVE now have to actively choose a new plan, something like an income-driven repayment option or a standard repayment plan. And if they don't make that choice in time, the system defaults them into default. Now, here's the part that should make you sit up a little. Collections on already defaulted loans have been paused, which sounds like good news, right? Like a get-out-of-jail-free card. But here's the catch. that pause isn't permanent. It's more like a snooze button on your alarm clock. Eventually, it goes off again. And when it does, all those consequences we just talked about, wage garnishment, tax refund seizure, benefit offsets, they come roaring back. So if you're thinking, I'll deal with it later, later might arrive faster than you expect. First thing, check your loan servicer's portal or your email for any notice about your save plan status. I know, checking loan emails feels about as fun as checking a mystery box that might contain either candy or a spider. But it's worth 2 minutes of anxiety now versus 90 days of consequences later. Second, look into switching to an income-driven repayment plan before your window closes. These plans base your monthly payment on how much you actually earn, not some arbitrary number that assumes you're living the high life. If your income is modest, your payment could be surprisingly manageable. Third, if you're not sure which plan fits your situation, the federal student aid website has tools that let you compare options side by side. And fourth, if you're already feeling overwhelmed, reach out to your servicer directly. I know calling customer service can feel like entering a maze with hold music as your only companion, but getting a real person on the phone, even if it takes a while, can help you avoid a mistake that costs you way more time and money down the road. Here's the bigger lesson in all of this, and it applies whether or not you personally have student loans. When you're relying on a system, any system, whether it's a government program, a subscription service, or even a friend who always has your back, it's smart to have a backup plan. Save felt like a safety net for a lot of borrowers, and nets can tear. The people who are going to come out of this okay aren't necessarily the ones who make the most money. They're the ones who paid attention to the deadline and acted before the clock ran out. So if you or someone you know is on the save plan, don't let this slide into the pile of I'll deal with it eventually. 90 days sounds like a lot until you blink and it's day 89. If this helped clear things up, drop a like and let me know in the comments if you've gotten one of these notices yourself, because honestly, you are far from alone in this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.